Hello, and welcome to Fireball Legion, a podcast about the competitive side of Star Wars Legion, hot takes, fresh perspectives, and a focus on the best hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, and whatever my co-host Mitch wants to talk about. My name is Peter Zaconia Lyons, and I'm joined by
Mitch Kazbachak, and together this is Fireball Legion.
Woo!
So, Pete, we finally did it. We finally achieved your drunk bar story of wanting to record a podcast together. This is going to be disaster, but I'm excited.
Absolutely. We're going to be calling this the Preseason while we figure out exactly what we are doing. All the podcasting gear was lost. Something was coming, and it was not my podcasting gear. So we have got 4 segments for you today. We're going to be talking about some recent results and then some upcoming events that you can expect in the Australian region. We then have some ad-lib go for gold sections where we are going to talk about my world's experience, where Mitch has some blind mystery questions. We will then be discussing some topical Legion issues, including the building of a Temu bike list. And finally, we will be discussing Starcraft pre-orders. Mitch,
Well, yeah, that's my favourite section. Talking about something not related to the topic of the podcast. So, but we'll get.
Absolutely. So, we've dug up some events which have occurred in Australia, and the first event we wanted to have a look at was the Revenge of the SITH, which occurred down in Melbourne.
Great to see Melbourne running some events again. So it'll be good to pop down there for the grand tournament later in the year. But looks like they did a cheeky one-dayer. So what did they get for their player count?
It was a total of 20 players, I believe. And interestingly, nice. Melbourne is very much a divided community at the moment, with half of them taking up the banner of the Moisture Farmers and the other half declaring their allegiance to the Southern Wampers. Shout out to Zangami, who is a factionless man in a factionful world. So
maybe that's a faction in itself, right?
It is. He is a factional to himself, I believe. So we're going to have a look at the top 4 lists.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, I'll claim the first and the third, and you can have a look at the second and the fourth, and we'll see if anything really stands out to us. So first up, we have The Drink claiming top spot with a 3-0 record. Shout out to The Drink. He did come to our Orange local event, or our Orange GT last year. He was running the actual tournament list. He was running a Rebel Alliance 12 activation, and for some reason, he has brought Luke Skywalker in his puffer vest. So Commander Luke Skywalker with Saber Throw, Trusted Agent, and Endurance. He's also got Din and Han in there. This is Han, the Reluctant Hero version. 1 Ion Trooper, 2 Trusty SX-21, which is the Range 2 Trooper. Jyn Erso in a set of Rebel Commandos, so really good to see the new upgrades being used. She also had the Proton Saboteur, so that is the... I think it turns out to be something like 6 red, black and a white range 1 attack. Ewok Slingers, we all know what they're doing when Han's about. They are a very good Reckless Diversion. Triple Tauntauns, and then 1 more Rebel Commando. So looks like he's been experimenting with some of the new objective cards, particularly the secondaries, where he's got Failed Negotiations and Supply Run. Really good diverse list. The thing that just stresses me out with it is, where is your order control, young man? You have 1 Trusted Agent, and that's about it for his order control. What do you think?
Who needs order control? Don't worry about it. Just trust the bag. Trust the process.
Trust the bag. Trust the process. I mean, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. I'm imagining half of his list has got really, really good plays to make. And looking at his command hand of Son of Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, Change of Plans. I like those odds. On patrol. See you in hell. Oh, no Reckless Diversion. I'm imagining he's not getting orders on all the things he wants, so it's going to be a chaotic list. I'd be very sweaty playing that.
Well, that's my kind of list. Good on you, The Drink.
All right. What's list number 2?
So the other undefeated for the day was from James Brett, or as Pete likes to call him, James the Big Balls Brett. And for a very obvious reason with this list, it's another Rebel list. So Rebels clearly performing well in the Melbourne meta. We're first off for the command group, we got Han Solo on foot with Tenacity Jammer Intel, and then a pair of Rebel Build-A-Bears, an officer with Tactician and Improv, and then an operative with Reluctant Hero, Inspiring, Pistol, and the Thermal Det. On top of that, there's, of course, the good old Cassian squad, except it's not in fleets, it's in Rebel Troopers with the shotgun guy, which I call the Rebel Trooper with the neck, if you've seen it, the 2 red, 2 white Impact 1. And then 5 more squads of Naked Core, 4 Rebels, 1 Fleets, then 3 Naked Commandos, 3 Commando Snipers, an ATRT with a Flamethrower, and double Land Speeder just with the Gunner. So if you're keeping up, that's 18 acts, and none of them really do a lot, but it's probably a lot of suppression coming your way, and with the cover changes, it doesn't take 2 off the top, so it's just as effective into soft targets as anything else. Got all the command cards that you expect to see, so Change of Plans, Reckless Diversion. Sorry about the mess in there, and I'm going to guess that this list just sort of swamped you and gave you too many acts to remove with the new primary cards that it was running in, sort of Cauldron and Payload, sort of able to dive on those objectives. So well done, James Brett, for a 3-0 there.
Yeah, it's a scary list in that you have to play it to 5 turns, because turn 1 it's going to be turn 2. Sorry, if you look at his objectives, it's going to be very, very hard to get up on Breakthrough, Cauldron, or Payload on this list in those first 2 turns, when he can just be double moving absolute chaff units, like 4 Naked Rebel Troopers double moving behind. I mean, let's just say you end up with Payload. There's plenty of heavy cover for them, so 4 white saves in heavy cover with 2 dodges and nimble. It just gets so hard to remove all of his little activations he's got everywhere. The list absolutely lacks legs, like some of these new Vader combos, like Vader Tarkin. Vader is just, potentially taking off 2 activations every single turn. But James is a very, very good player, so he'll know exactly when he's diving on what he needs to dive on, so that he's always going to just be one up on you on every single POI. So,
wait, you like Vader Tarkin?
Look, it's a lot of swinging, and into a list like that, it's if he can get stuck in, there's a lot of swinging that you want to do. I think there's some potential in Vader Tarkin.
Well, you'll have to play it to prove it to me, because the problem I got with Vader Tarkin is Tarkin to pull the strings has to be range 2, right? But to get the benefit of the Guardian, you need to first of all sacrifice one of the Vader 1 pips, and then Tarkin needs to be half range of Vader. So as soon as one of the 2 of them activate, Tarkin's no longer in a position to get the Guardian or the backup, and 6 health, non-surging white save. I think I'm pretty happy to see a Vader Tarkin on the other side of the table, unless until it flogs me in one of an upcoming match. But feel free to prove me wrong.
Oh, yeah, I think Death Troopers get a Guardian now, don't they?
They do.
A sneaky one of them. I mean, what in James's list is getting more than 4 hits into you?
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right. But with that combo, then you still have to take Death Troopers, which, yeah, I don't think we're seeing them, mate.
We will see. All right, into the 2-1 bracket. In third place, we have Zangami, and this man is brought the I will call it Fury Road 2.0. He has said, if this game's not over in 60 minutes, then we're playing wrong. He has brought Grievous, a super tack with Seek and Destroy, Task Flow, Overclock, because you do need a few extra moves in this list. Electro Staff into the fray. The interesting thing about his super attack here is that is the only thing that can only move twice in a turn, because he then fills it up with triple Geo, 4 Temu bikes, and 3 Staps with link targeting array. His command hand is full throttle, so that you can get some surges on all of your triple moving things. Pincer attack, trained in your Jedi arts, ambush, tactical download, and push. Deployment cards are breakthrough, payload, and outflank. This is just a throw it in your face list. I think a few people at Worlds were trying to play General Grievous cautiously. I think this list throws all caution to the wind and just says, I want everything shooting and doing stuff in turn 1. You've got the 3 Geos, which can hang at the back and be sneaky, but everything else is just getting up in your face. It'd be interesting to see. He lost his game to James Brett, so James Brett actually got up on him. So interesting that he couldn't chew through all of those little activations. I guess James would have... I'm imagining James' side of the board would have had a lot of Rebel Troopers where there's 1 or 2 models hanging around, just sitting on points, and I'd imagine the 11 activations of this list to James has just got up on that one.
That's interesting, even with the overrun attacks not being able to clean up those smaller units. I thought that would have been a fairly natural predator of the big act list.
Nimble and a dodge. So, 3 black dice. You're probably hitting the Rebel Troopers twice. They're dodging 1. And then, you might kill a Rebel Trooper if you're lucky each time.
Yeah, still, with sort of timing, they're not always going to have those dodges. So I would have thought you would attrition them down eventually, especially with Armor 1 and all the bikes. Their fire in those small dice pools is significantly weaker. So must have been some classic Rebel shenanigans to skirt around the objectives.
In the same argument, I mean, naked Rebel Troopers shooting at unactivated Staps. There's probably 2 naked Rebel Trooper shots and your Staps are down to 1 model.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it'd be a very interesting back and forth match. There definitely need to be some focus firing on both sides.
Yeah, what do you think about link targeting array on Staps these days instead of strike and fade? You can, of course, have both, but if you had to pick one.
I would go HQ uplink on one of them and the other 2 naked.
Still can't get away from your order controller.
Yeah, it's just that order control is needed. They're definitely a flanking piece. The second they're in the middle of the board, because SITH have much better things that want to be going early in the turn. I think your Staps need to just be 6 models scooting around the side and isolating and picking things off.
It's been a while since I think we've seen you run some Staps, so maybe you'll have to get them on the table at an event at some point.
There is a triple bounty list I've been playing around with, so your 6 B1s, your 3 Staps. I think there's an AAT in there, so that's your standing orders, can order all of that, which is nice. And then 2 bounties.
Nice.
So it's full order control on standing orders, so yes, I haven't definitely They're just a hard unit to transport. We'll put it down to that. They break very easily, the old Staps.
Oh, mine are in multiple pieces, but blue tack and a bit of hope puts it all back together.
As the end of my Worlds, because I think my SIS had about 12 games at Worlds, like there were acts held together with blue tack, like both of my super tacks, like one was held to the base with blue tack, one had both arms blue tacked on, like it was looking so sad, but always bring blue tack to your events, guys. It is much better than standing there for 2 minutes super gluing something.
That's just battle damage. That's what the blue tack is. It's adding to the theatre of the game.
The ambiance, absolutely.
All right, and rounding out the top 4, we've got Shannon Lomas, who brought some dirty clones. I can see why you wanted to talk about this list. Fucking clones. So we got a generic or a Build-A-Bear Jedi General with Jedi Guardian for the Doctrine, and then Burst, Mind Trick, Force Adept, Peacekeeping Mission, and the Double-Bladed Lightsaber. Interesting with the Double-Bladed Lightsaber, which I believe is the high-velocity version, with no saber throw here, because I quite like that combo to get around some of the dodge spam that you see out of Rebel lists in particular at the moment.
Yeah, it's got a lot on that Jedi Knight General, but not really doing one particular thing very well. It's doing lots of not very important things okay.
Yeah, which if more clone players like to do lots of things not very well, I'd most appreciate that.
Yes.
What else have we got? We got Padme in there. What does Padme even do these days?
She bolsters.
Shit, I have to look this up.
And her gun's not terrible, but she bolsters to 2. So he's got 2 marksmen. He's only generating 2 surges off the bat. So she's just throwing some annoying surges out there.
She's only 52 points.
Yeah, she's really, really dropped, and she has her gun is I think it's
3 red, range 2,
but sharpshooter 2. So she's quite good. She's agile. She's nimble. So you were saying Tarkin gets blown up. I mean, she just moves once into heavy cover. She's got a nimble. She's got her agile. She inspires, and then she can shoot a semi-decent gun. And cover saves. Don't worry about them. She's got you sorted.
Yeah, solid unit.
So yeah.
What else have we got? There's 2 naked clone trooper marksmen.
Yeah, they start on the board.
About them.
They start on the board.
No.
Prepared positions. They have dodges there, so turn 1 you can be even more oppressive to your opponent. And if there's aims sitting around from the ARC troopers who have double moved, or there's generally some aims sitting around, they can shoot and go, I crit you once, or I crit you twice.
They have long shot as well, right?
They do.
I wonder how they'd pair with some of the new ARC snipers then, because I think missing the reliable one is pretty big, but maybe with some cheaper aim access through, say, ARC snipers that don't really need it, could be interesting.
Yes, yeah, they're definitely going to have more tokens sitting on the board with these sniper changes. He didn't actually bring any of the new snipers. He did bring 2 infantry support platforms with the twin missile pods, so credit to this man.
Missile pods. Yeah, that's brave.
That's brave.
I like the laser beam. The rest of them, I'm not convinced yet.
Just 25 points. It's 4 red impact too. Like it's even the missile pod shooting into armor's probably forcing 2 or 3 saves. And then it's got that weird split fire where you can be like, I'm going to shoot 2 red here and 2 red there.
Surely just an infantry squad with a rocket launcher does a similar job though, right?
Yes. We'll have to find out if Shannon ran the Melbourne event, and we'll have to learn what these ISPs are all about.
It was the Jedi General, Padme, 2 marksmen, the 2 ISPs. We've got 2 clone trooper infantries with shotguns, up close and personal, and impact grenades and E-gear, but they're not double strength. And then the pair of ARC troopers, medics, of course, and 2 flamer RTs, so coming in at 12 acts, which is pretty healthy for a clone list.
Yeah, and late game, like if those shotgun squads are sitting on a point, I've seen people do this before, and when everyone's crashing, say James Brett's coming in with his 18 silly little rebel troopers, that clone trooper squad, you've suppressed them to buggery, they get 1 action. They go, I'm going to split fire, 2 black here, 2 red here, and an impact grenade here. They roll all their dice, they might kill something, but then they're like, I'm a clone trooper with a surge token, and I now have 3 dodges. And you can panic me, but Padme may inspire me, and, there's all these little tricks they have, those bloody clones. And you want to know what? If you say that unit's got 3 dodges, I'm not going to shoot it, well, then someone else is going to use those dodges.
Yeah, you might as well just throw it in anyway, because it's going to get spent somewhere else.
Yes, get rid of clones is what we're hearing.
Any meta is better than a clone meta.
Absolutely.
But it looks like Shannon's 1 loss was to top 3-0 list on strength of schedule, which was the Drinks, which was that similar close skirmishy rebel list.
Absolutely. Well, Queensland is not to be outdone, just slightly less players. So they actually had an event in Toowoomba, which is a place near and dear to my heart. I used to travel up there quite a bit for 8Z Fantasy, and they had a 17-player event, which is awesome to see from a little little country town. It's quite large. It's not one of the major capitals, though. And we're going to have a look at the 3 lists there that went 3-0. So, first up, we had Darian Chase. So, he's a regular in the Queensland scene. We see him at all the events.
And we should say that this event was on the 18th of May. So, it was prior to the
prior to the update, but still worth mentioning because a 3-0 is always an achievement. So Darian has gone for Greg on foot. So that is Grievous with up close and personal improvised orders. And he has paired him with Daddy Dooku and a operative super attack. So Dooku's got the burst of speed, the guidance, which I really love on him. It's really underrated because you throw a surge onto your super attack operative and then it's like I get to pick where it goes. So if it's turn 1 or it's turn 2 and Dooku's not diving yet, he can throw a surge onto because he's got a B2 super squad, he throws a surge onto them, a surge onto his operative super attack, and then your B2s have got 2 surges and it's like, they're now a surging unit. Triple naked B1s, Magma Guard with just the extra Magna Guard body and impact grenades, and then 2 of the old school OG vehicle aqua droids. So it is a solid SIS list. I like the order control on it. You know, Grievous is giving the Magnas their order. The Magnas are starting the every turn with an aim or something. He's got optimized task flow on his operative, so straight away the operative with Seek and Destroy is getting a order every turn because it's going to do the B1 chain back to himself. And then Dooku can either give an order to himself, to Grievous, to the B2s. Very, very good order control list. Very solid SIS list. 10 activations, which is a little bit low for my liking, but everything about that list is exciting. No way to get an order on Grievous, as far as I can tell, on the Dooku turn. So no cunning Grievous, but that's okay.
It would just be through direct, right? That would be the mechanism if you wanted to spend it that way.
No, because he's... yes, you could Daft Tyrannus. You could use Dooku's direct, of course.
But, scary 10 activations. It's been a hot second since I've played Dooku. Maybe I'll have to get him back on the table at some point.
Yes, he's got the saber throw, and burst of speed. So it's that is it 3 red, 6 black, pierce 3 diving attack, which is hello saber tank, boom. It is a horrible attack to have to face. So no, that looks like a really, really strong list, and congratulations to Darian on first place. Up next we have, who do we have, Mitch?
Zane Ronthig. And Zane is running good old imps, and another bit of a mess of a list at short activations. It's only 10, but you work out why pretty quickly. So it starts with Vader, who's got burst, throw, reflexes. So reasonably standard build. What are your thoughts on reflexes over, say, good old choke?
It's 5 points cheaper. If you want to have your Vader everywhere, it'd be interesting to know if he gives him the 2 surges or if he deep strikes him each turn. I guess he has Master of the Force and he has 5 points. It's either guidance or force reflexes if you've only got the 5 points. So pick your poison.
I personally always prefer choke because as perhaps a lot of people can relate to the amount of times where there's just one dude left, or you want to leave exactly one dude on the table so you don't cop a shot back.
Yes,
it helps you sort of navigate those scenarios.
He does have the points because he's put Spotter Unplink on 2 bikes, so he could have jigged points to have on that Vader. So yes.
Spotter Unplink.
Mate, I want that to be good. A bike forward, and you can get Bosk with Sharpshooter 2.
Yes, that is a combination you can do, and not one that I would recommend. What else have we got? You've also got an Imperial Agent with Tip the Spear, Improv, the Command and Control Uplink, which I really love that combo with Vader to make Implacable a 0 pip. and the pistol, because it's 5 points, and why not? Then you've got Bosk in his standard build with On the Hunt and Scopes.
You say standard. You say standard, but I think Recon Intel needs to be stapled to him now because everyone's caught on to the 3-pip. I think just Recon Intelling him just gives that 5 crits, Pierce 1, anywhere, turn 1. It's so good. So he's obviously, maybe he does have the Darkness Descends card because he's not ready for Bosk to be doing his job turn 1.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I guess the counterpoint is if people want to play around the Bosk card, it means that they're not stepping any more than range 1 onto the board. Otherwise, they'll get shot with a move range 4, which does give you a lot of initiative. So yes, it turns off the Bosk 3-pip. You get a lot of tempo back. So not a trade that I'm concerned with. But yeah, if you're worried about 5 crits Pierce 1, then you can play around it.
Yes.
He's got minimum core with 2 storms and a snow. I'm starting to come around to my naked squads being riots for the 2 extra points. My reasoning is if you need speed 2 and you're going to be a naked core unit anyway, the surge hit generally doesn't matter. So having the access to charge when you need it to sort of lock the unit down and still actually throw some dice or just survive an extra volley from something, it's a pretty handy disruption for the low cost of 2 points and losing surge to hit on your range attacks. You got any thoughts on that, Pete?
Here's a hot take. First one of the podcast. Riot Troopers with an 11-point marksman. Okay, I think it's 55. Okay, they have a lot of dead activations. Imagine if you had a dead activation. You're on your point, you're capping it, you don't need to go anywhere. You can roll a red dice anywhere, unlimited range. And there's a 1 in 4 chance you do a wound to anything you want. I think 3 riots, so 5 red health. You know, if something comes and charges it, cool, I'm 5 red health with a 3 up. But a 11-point marksman, I think, is going to start appearing all over the place. It gets through incognito, so... You know, if we're going into a sniper... Yes,
because it's not an attack.
Yeah, so we're going into a sniper meta. I definitely think the sniper meta is back. You can win that sniper war because you can almost bring 3 freebie, you know... It's not amazing, but a 1 in 4 chance. Imagine if there's a Yoda.
I wouldn't even call it good.
He's range 7 away. Yoda's range 7 away, and you're playing shifting priorities... And you've gone out and you've scored your far 1 and you're doing nothing. And every turn, it's like, hey, Yoda, there's a 1 in 4 chance. You just cop a wound for free. I think that is the hot take, that Riots with the marksman is a sleeper unit.
I think I don't mind it as a 1 of. As a 3 of, you might need to do a bit more convincing. Because some of the, like Storms with some of their default heavies, like a DLT at range 4, 2 red, is pretty nice. The HH12 with Impact 3, given it can move shoot now if you need just to bulk up some impact somewhere in the list, I think those are more consistent into most matchups. But I definitely think you will see a Riot Marksman somewhere at some point. I don't think you'll see them in droves like you're saying, but I think they will be around.
I think if you've got 3 core slots and you don't want core, I think you throw 3 of them in.
Just a shame it took the death of the mortar to bring a new core into the Imperial roster.
Yeah. Yes.
So what did we say? We got Vader, we got the Imperial Agent with the command and control uplink, we got Bosk, 2 Storms, a Snow, 2 Bikes with Spotter, and 2 ATSTs with essentially the full suite of upgrades. So the Surge Hit Pilot, the Rainbow Range 3 gun, and grenade launcher. So that's how it only gets to 10x, because between Vader, 2 ATSTs, and a Bounty Hunter, there's not a lot of points left to go around.
No,
but well done, Zane, on your 3-0.
It's definitely one of those, they refer to them as scalpely lists. Like, he can definitely say, this turn, that is dying. Between two ATSTs and Bosk, he could basically pick any heavy or, even an Aqua Droid isn't safe and just say, this turn, that's dying. That's your recon, that's your surface scan. Well, this turn, it's going to die. So, yeah, really nice scalpel list.
I'd be curious to see how important Bosk is to this list, because you could quite easily retool it into a Blizzard list. The Storms become Snows, Bosk becomes a pair of HRUs, and everything else is already fits within the roster. I don't remember if they can have agents, but I know they can have officers, so maybe that gets flipped around. But potentially gives you another activation and access to that Blizzard 2 pip, which is always a nice thing to have. Beam 1 as well.
Yes. Not quite Bosk, but no, definitely an option. All right. Third place we had Zaquari Edwards, and his list was called The Overwhelming...
Wait, how did you pronounce that name?
Zaquari.
Zachary?
I think that should have a CK. It's a QU.
I reckon that's Zachary, mate.
Well, I reckon it's Zaquari. Zaquari Edwards. And he is playing the overwhelming numbers. So, as you would expect, he has a lot of activations. He has 16 activations. Krennic with the Improv and the Binox. He's got Operative Vader with Burst. He's stuck choke on him, Into the Fray and Tenacity. For core, he has 6 naked units. He has 2 Storms, 2 Snowtroopers. The Snowtroopers do have Imperial March. 2 Shore Troopers and 2 Mortars, so a lot of 4 health red save things which are on the board. They can compel. They're all still Courage 2 though. He then tops it up with 2 units of Death Troopers, which have which are naked, because this man is all about getting naked. He has Scout Troopers, and Scout Troopers are where he's decided to spend all of his points, up close and personal, targeting scopes and smoke grenades. And then finally, 2 E-Webs with a barrage generator, which is the suppressive.
When was the last time you saw smoke grenades in a undefeated list, even a one-dayer?
I've been playing a lot of Menace the computer game, and so I've been taking smoke grenades quite a lot in that. But in terms of Legion, I honestly didn't think it was still a upgrade. This is the throw a token within range 1 and everything. Is it within or wholly within gets light cover?
Oh, good question. I think it's within, but it's shooting in and out of. So the Scouts having Sharpshooter stops it working against you, but
triggers their low profile and
low profile and Sharpshooter 1.
Yeah. If you do this, unit might say a smoke action. Yeah, no, quite a wide list. I don't think this list has many legs. If it's
just Vader.
It's just Vader putting it on his back and saying, "Righto, guys, you cap the points. I'm going over here."
And maybe that's something to note in quite a lot of these lists. While they're perhaps not the way that we would build them or interpret them, if you have the right key piece and you have enough of an understanding what to do with the key piece, whether it's a Dooku or a Vader or whatever garbage clone spits out these days, you can go quite a distance just by using that one piece efficiently.
Here's a question for you. Krennic plays Deploy the Garrison, and it's like, cool, Vader gets a standby. Where's your second standby going?
Probably an E-Web, because they're Sentinels, right?
They are, yes. Yes.
And the E-Web's pretty sneaky at 60 points. I don't mind them. It's just I like the rest of the support slot a little bit more.
Yes. Well, I think 6 support tokens is going to become a thing. Like, I think triple sniper is going to be seen, and then just stacking your stack with, a couple of, maybe ATRTs, maybe E-Webs. I think we're going to see 6 support tokens becoming a thing. So hopefully everybody is not throwing all their support tokens out.
Well, let's talk snipers for a bit then. Mix it up a little. What what factions do you reckon are going to be running triple snipers? Do you expect them to be across the board, or do you reckon they lean more into one faction than another?
I think the Arc Trooper one is just money. Like, it's 49 points. They're all black, white, white, aren't they? So if you don't move, it's
the
red,
weapon is all the same.
Yeah, red, black, black. Range 5, high velocity, overwhelm, and also sniper team. On the clone ones, they've just got that added value of, hey, I'm a clone trooper, so you can shoot and move, can't you, and upgrade the dice? Or does it have to be...
No, you have to stay still, and both models need to see. Yeah. So
I do like that both models need to see, because I do remember back in my day, the oppressive sniper meta of unlimited range, pierce, sharpshooter 1, and I have 3 medics behind to win this battle.
Yeah.
So I think that the clone ones, even throwing black, white, white, do they still have crit 1 on the gun?
No,
they do not.
They have surge crit natively, though.
Yeah. Move shooting with them, rolling the 3 dice. Do you get a crit? Cool. Do you not get a crit? Like, it presents a decision tree where if you do decide to spend the aim, cool. If you don't, then someone else is going to use it. So I think they are just money.
It's worth noting, though, that a bunch of their upgrades are different. So they lose tactical and they lose charge.
Oh.
So they are actually a sniper team. And if you want to use the sniper ability where if you roll a crit, you just do a wound and ignore the rest of the process, you can't move for that either. So they can aim shoot unless they're suppressed or whatever. And that aim probably goes somewhere else unless you need to re-roll into a crit, but they can't move shoots. They still have that drawback, as do all the other sniper teams in some regard.
Yeah, okay. And then there's that, is it incognito and prepared position?
Yeah, they got,
so
all teams have incognito and prepared. Yeah.
So they're bringing a free dodge, which is like, can't be taken away basically turn 1, just sitting there. I mean, turn 1 with these guys, aim dodge. It's just you're just helping the battery for all the other clones. And I think they have defend 1 too.
Yeah.
So
that's correct.
Conceivably, turn 1, you can have 3 dodges and an aim on these guys, and they're just sitting there. There's no counterplay to that. It's just there. Take that sort of thing. So
yeah, I completely agree that the clone ones are awesome.
Do Gar have a commander who gives an order to everyone? I think they do.
A little green, Yoda, right?
Little green goblin, yes. That card. So that card, and that card also gives 2 extra dodges and 2 extra aims and 2 extra surges. I think this segment is just going down a rabbit hole of saying fuck clones, basically. All of those tokens, you could shoot them all you want, and they're going to be like, there's a token here, there's a token here, there's a token here, there's a token here. Oh, yeah. God, I hope Aaron Smetzer, who is a well-known Queensland, very, very toxic Gar player, I hope he quits the game so we don't have to do this.
What about the rest of the factions then, for the snipers?
The SITH one is 40 points. Us SITH players love to action pad. Their tokens aren't shareable, but there's still 2 red hell. There's still a present little annoying unit which exists. It can move up slowly. It can help cap positions. Would you ever, here's a question for you, would you ever put the bombs on any of these 2-man units? Or is it always the sniper?
Oh, no. Definitely not. It's always the sniper.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because the bomb unit is better in the full squad anyway. So if you needed access to a 4th, 5th, and 6th bomb, then fine. But I don't think you need that many bombs in a droid list.
Yeah, okay. The one with the BX SIS one, where I immediately went to is, and it's creeping in, and we saw Admiral Trench at Adepticon, who's like, I'm going to spend the first 4 turns of the game putting out 8 of these tokens, and then in turn 5, those 8 tokens are going to turn into 16 suppression. I think the overwhelm is where the SITH are looking at it and going, cool, I have a range 5 unit putting out 2 suppression, which is going to pair really well with operatives I have in my list, which can be like, hey, here's 4 suppression. So there's definitely a SITH very targeted suppression bombing list coming, which those really lend themselves to. In Empire... Yeah. Oh, yep, sorry.
I was going to say that the issue that I've always had suppression lists, even back when I was when shorelines were a meaningful list, is there's always tech against it. They need to bring it. So suppression lists will work, but only to a point where if a lot of people are doing it, everyone's just going to bring either super squads or inspire or vehicle-based lists or character-based lists where that suppression sort of gets mitigated a lot. But assuming it's good but not great, if I can say it that way, then I expect those suppression lists to have a lot of mileage as long as they're not too frequent.
What the SIS can do is they just have that order control. So it's like, I'm going to go first with my 6 or 7 core units, and then I'm going to look at what you've activated on your side. Oh, look, you put this unit. Yes, you're a super squad and you're capping the point. Anything I go near is going to get mulch, but hey, I just need to put 4 suppression on a super squad. Yes, you might roll it off next turn. Hey, if I'm lucky, you lose an activation, but I can stop your 120 point, 10 red health GAR shotgun monster unit capping a point just by shooting at it twice with snipers. You know, I may do wounds. They're irrelevant. What's relevant is the 4 suppression, which is on them.
Yeah, I think that's the secret sauce to the snipers, right? Like the damage is fine for the point value, but the 2 suppression per shot, that is pretty nice to have.
With the
all right, what about Civil War, Pete? How do you get snipers in a Civil War?
So when I looked at it with the Rebels, it's sort of like I want to dilute my order pool with lots and lots of support tokens. So the snipers are there to be 3 support tokens to pair with my 3 Tauntauns or to pair with my 3 ATRTs. So, you know, I've got my stack could be 12 things, but I know 50% of them are support tokens. Otherwise, I'm not super sold on the Rebel ones. I'm not super sold on the Imperial ones. I think the SIS and the GAR definitely got the favourable end of the stick. What about yourself?
Like the Rebel ones, maybe you can make a case for Rebel Commandos. They're like a nice naked unit if you need more naked units. 42 points, surging hit, black dice, range 3, low profile with scout and sharpshooter. Like that's a cheap unit. And standalone, that's probably fine, but having to pay for that on top of your 3 core to unlock the snipers, who are only 40 points, so they're nice in budget, but as an 82 point unit package, it's a tricky sell. The snipers do have low profile, so they're pretty hard to shoot back. So you can probably like pop that incognito token turn 1 and not worry about it. And I think the one thing we didn't discuss with snipers yet is because it's crit on the die pool and it just doesn't auto wound, these things are great character hunters. Yeah. Backup doesn't trigger, Guardian doesn't trigger, dodges don't trigger, none of the defensive tech happens. So I think if we see more and more Yodas, Anakins, maybe less so Vader, but Dooku, like 6 health, expensive characters, I think the Civil War will find a way to get snipers in their list. Well, at least Rebels will. But Imperials, Scouts are so bad. Range 2, no surge to hit, no way to get free moves or free aims or free dodges, no nimble. And the sniper team occupies the detachment slot that probe droids want to use. And probe droids, I think, are really nifty.
Real money, yes. There is a world that exists where, like I said before, with the riot troopers and the riot trooper gun, So if you've got 3 Riot Trooper guns and 3 Scout Snipers, like 5 health Jedi, 6 health Jedi need to be aware, like, no, they're not going to kill you turn 1, but they could be doing 2-3 wounds a turn from very, very long range with very, very little counterplay to it.
Yeah, does it mean that we start to see sort of cheap, shitty vehicles as a line of sight blocker for characters? So,
well, they took that away from me, Mitch. They took that away.
What are you talking about? You've still got crabs and spiders.
Crabs are lower. Crabs are lower than a trooper silhouette. Spiders are not, but also...
Crab's really lower. Where's my crab model?
According to TPS,
I guess it is.
And spiders naked is... You can run them if you want. I mean, the wicked kick's pretty sick, but I don't think a naked spider is ever going to be a...
If only you could shoot your own units so you could detonate the spider.
Yes, that would be a play.
All
right.
Yeah, so I think, to summarize, Clone Sniper's great. The droid ones, they're fine. I think the Sarge Commando unit gives you some access to it with a pretty cool unit. But the Civil War ones, Rebel and Imps, just the base unit is so terrible.
Yes, well, we can be proven wrong. We can see. I'm going to...
please prove us wrong.
Move this show along. And we are going to talk about...
Yeah, if you insist.
We're going to talk about what is coming up, because in the Southern Hemisphere, we are not here to muck around. We're all about events, okay? AMG, why do we only have 4 GTs and not 5? That's a bit of an issue, but this year, a couple of our prior GTs have been downgraded. So Briscon, which has always been a pillar of the Queensland competitive Legion scene, is running, and it is running on the 2nd.
Wait, are we calling Queenslanders competitive?
Sorry, barbecue one-day eventer asking you for sleepover. You know,
that's more it. After one round, they need a break. They got to have a sausage sizzle and a beer, and then maybe if they're feeling up to it, a second round if they're pushing their energy levels.
Yes, no, we do love our Queenslanders, but they are just a bit different to everyone else. I think it's the Cane Toads. So Briscon has been one of the longest running Legion events. Bryant, who is the owner of Phoenix Games, has been championing this event for a very long time. Briscon is always an experience. You know, it is just outside the whole day. There's just dudes in, it's like 30 degrees and 100% humidity, and you've got LARPers in full suits of armor just hitting away with their swords. Legion always gets put next to the Battletech. Battletech pulls an interesting crowd. It's always fun, you know, between your games just to go listen to a bit of Battletech and listen to their banter. And you're in a little, it's like a converted house into a scout hall, but it is a great event. Looking at it this year, I think because Queensland does have a GT, which is going to be the Rise from the Ashes in August, which is going to be, I'm predicting, going to be their big event. So Briscon at the moment, it's only got 8 registered, but there's, you know, you generally see about 20 plus people at Briscon. And the field is looking pretty stacked at the moment. Mitch, I believe you're going. Is that correct?
Yeah. Managed to find some cheap flights. I'll be heading up there, and also joining me from New South Wales is Nick, Parramatta Nick, who always loves coming in 3rd place. And is that one of the Victorians on the list as well?
Looking at the list, I can see Rex Savage, who is, you know, a powerhouse of the Legion scene. Believe he is also a podcaster with a podcaster coming out soon, the Boss Nass podcast. Something is coming there. Rob Anderson, he is a tragic for OP Luke. He has definitely showed me how to play OP Luke quite a few times. His OP Luke has also died turn 1 to really random firing sometimes. So Rob's a really, really good Rebel player up there. And then you've got Zane, Oscar 212, and Oscar is, I think he's only like 15. He's an absolute prodigy on the Legion scene. Probably Australia's next big thing. Not sure where Tim is from or Brock Ward, but
oh no, they're both Queenslanders. The only imports are myself and Nick at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Well, normally we're pretty slack on getting on the Longshanks, so hopefully that does fill up. Same weekend as Briscon though. Orange, New South Wales, which is amazing place.
It's a real place, apparently.
It's a real place. We have the Gangs of Naboo event. So this is hosted by Jeff Vader, who is another powerhouse of the Australian Legion scene. At the moment, we are actually currently beating Briscon. We've got 11 signed up. So that is just a one-dayer, not a two-dayer like the Queensland event.
And then also coming up this month, we've got the Fresh Off Kamino Open Friendly Fixtures. So come say fuck off on 9th of May up in Glenbrook. 3 rounds. I managed to secure an OP kit off eBay that we'll be distributing. Until very recently, Australia can't get OP gear outside of the 4 GTs that we have each year. So it'll be nice to actually get some shiny cards and give them around. So hopefully we can attract a few players with that.
Yeah, and on the mention of GTs, the Australian GT scene is crying out for internationals. So if you're one of our many international listeners, come to an Australian GT. We have 4 this year, and we're looking to diversify. We're looking to increase our player base. We have our 4 GTs. We have the first one is down in Melbourne in June. We have one in August, which is in Queensland. We have October, which is in Sydney, and then our yearly pilgrimage to Canberra in January, Australia Day weekend. So we do have 4 GTs, and we're always looking to beat internationals up who come over. If you do come over, Aaron Smetzer, who always buys everyone a drink, has said he will shout you unlimited drinks.
He has said that. It's on record.
Yes, I've screenshotted it. So, yes.
But the biggest event of them all, well, probably a bit in the history books now, and I'm sure in your many podcast tours you've already spoken to death about it, Pete. But how was the new Worlds venue?
Amazing. It was... So we travelled over in 23 and 24, didn't we, for Worlds?
Yeah.
And the Chicago venue hall was nice, but it was literally... I don't know, it's not in the sticks because I live in the sticks, but it was in the middle of nowhere.
You
Chicago.
Wish you had sticks where you live.
It was not in a good location for food. Like, you finish up at the hall, it's 10 o'clock, and it's like, what fast food venue are we going? Remember we had to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because all the nice places were shut, and then the next day...
Mate, you loved those wings.
We were
all your leftovers for breakfast the next 3 days.
We were ridiculed so heavily by everyone at that venue for going to Buffalo Wild Wings, but no, Milwaukee venue is everything you could possibly want. First of all, Milwaukee, the people are lovely. The town is nice, or the city is nice. Like, a place has got pride. I reckon 50% of people in Milwaukee walk around Milwaukee with a T-shirt with the name printed on it. Like, everywhere I looked, everyone was in a Milwaukee shirt.
Did you buy one?
I got a free hat. I went to a basketball game, and the hat says Milwaukee, so I'll stick with that. So, no, there is so many food options. Oh, they have these thing called dive bars, and they have the weirdest promotions where it's like, if you buy a drink between 9:04 and 9:16, the drink's only $1. And I was like, oh, nice. Cool, it's probably limited to 1 drink per person. And I was like, can I have 6 of the blue cans and 10 shots? And she's like, yeah, sure. I was like, oh, that worked.
That explains all the messages I got from you at whatever ungodly hour of night.
I don't think we...
Which for me was the middle of my workday.
Yes, no, it was dive bars. Like, I've heard about them, never experienced them. I've now experienced them. They are truly terrifying. Oh, and the other thing they have is they have a jukebox. So say you put $10 in the jukebox and you say I pick 10 songs, I can wait for you to leave that jukebox and I can put $20 in. And I say, I'm going to pick 10 songs, but I'm going to pay $2 a song, and all of my songs will jump the queue.
So what, you just played the...
And for some reason...
for an hour?
For some reason, it let me just go crazy frog, crazy frog, crazy frog. Bit of pendulum, bit of Australian drum and bass, crazy frog, crazy frog, crazy frog. Anyway, I went back to the bar and everyone was like, who the fuck did this? I was saying, yeah, some fucking idiots put all of these songs on. Oh my God, who did this? If we find them, we're going to mob them. We're going to lynch them. But yeah, no, dive bars. Definitely would recommend.
And what about the event itself? You're happy top 8? That's, I think, the best record that an Aussie's had at Worlds so far, tied for the best with
Grumpy Steve
Gibb.
Yes.
Grumpy Steve.
Grumpy Steve, as he's referred to now. Really, really happy with my performance. I'm going to have nightmares for an entire year about my top 8 game. I think I went on Coco Zula's podcast. So it's twice the pride, double the fall. I think I messaged you just before. I looked at the list. I looked at the table. I was like, I can't lose this. I think I lost 12-2, and he killed 700 points, and I killed a bar. It was.
You tried not being shit.
It's the most overconfidence performance I'd ever had, and it just went kaboom. And so, no, that will haunt me. But no, all the games I had were great. I didn't have a single bad opponent. The hall was great. I did maybe go out drinking every night, and each morning I'd have someone come and check in on me. I think Dr. Tums from the Fifth Trooper podcast sat down with me and, gave me a full medical diagnosis one morning, which was really nice. And what else happened? There was the food in the venue hall was terrible. That always is. Convention food is. I feel.
Oh, unless it's a Queensland convention, those guys know how to put on a barbecue.
Yes, true. But no, when I'm paying $22 for a single slice of pizza, which gives me indigestion, or it's like $15 for a can of beer. Yes, the can's a half litre, but it made me feel physically sick paying that much money. And also,
you didn't buy a 2-litre plastic bottle of Southern Comfort this year?
Well, there is a bag check, so I wasn't game. I think there were definitely a few people who were handing me a few bottles here and there.
So what I'm hearing is you should have run an AAT or something, so you can put little bottles inside the model and crack them open just before the game.
Drink from the turret. That would be the thing. I'm sure people put LED lights in there. Has anyone ever considered putting a skin in there so you can fill it up with a sneaky half litre?
Bit of innovation.
All right. Worlds 2027. That's on the list.
Yeah, see who you can convince to join you for next year.
Yes, no, I'm promoting it heavily.
All right. So speaking of these events and the recent points update that we got, do you reckon there's some units that were missed that are still in need of some love, they're a bit shit, or they're a bit overcosted, that you think are ripe targets for the points update next time when we get one in November?
Yes, I really like how they've committed to a biannual update. Yes, there is still dead units in every faction. I love how they're putting the commanders into units as upgrades.
It's an interesting new space.
Kraken's cool, but Kalani's just better in every way. I love Bosk. I'm going to keep playing Bosk in lists, but he's not very good. Cad Bane, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's this blue guy with a hat. Everyone compares his attack uses his attack as a yardstick of being bad. Maul was really cool to see the update. So SITH are probably one of the factions where we do have so many playable units, but if I bring up Rebels, it's like looking down the list, I think Lando, he's got tricks. If you know the tricks, he's not great. Like, I think Lando could be 95 points. Leia Organa, I think, could drop 5. Wicket was a random drop to see. I don't think Bright Tree Village needed the love, but Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano, Fat Boba Fett, as I like to call him. Chewbacca the Walking Carpet has just become the walking joke. IG-11.
Give him a break, Pete. Give him a break. 11 is priced fine, I think.
Really? At 100? Yeah. 110, 105?
Because he's range 4 gunslinger, 1 white, 2 black, surge hit, and probably pierce 1 on each of those 2 shots. Yeah, hit a dodge better, he's crap, but if there's no dodges, he cleans up 4 models a turn.
Yeah, okay. R2-D2, something just has to happen. I don't know if it's command cards. I don't know if it's... Because it used to be 30 points, didn't he, or something, and he was everywhere?
I think he was 35. I've never had that tin can score on me, so yeah, I'm glad he's not in the meta.
Yeah, okay. I think you can just make C-3PO 3. Like,
yeah, sure.
Does that make them a unit? Like, it's... I think that makes them a thing. And then Sabine Wren, maybe she's getting some love. Maybe she's getting an updated card in the next month. But no, I don't think that... We may as well go through each faction, see if Empire...
Yeah, I was going to say, my unit from the Rebels that I think would be cool to see get a bit of love is the Airspeeder. I think it's a neat unit that does a thing, but because it's only got armor 3, I think that makes it a bit shit. So... either that armor needs to go back up to, say, 5 with the rest of the big tanks, or cut it by, I don't know, 10, 15 points. Because it's a cool unit. It'd be cool to see it again.
It always used to float around like it's the glass cannon. Give it lethal. Give it lethal 1 on its attack.
Lethal.
That's what I always thought was,
That's not bad.
It's a tank hunter. It's,
I do like lethal 1.
That's what I always thought the solution was for it. Make it into a proper glass cannon. Yeah, I think, poor old airspeeders.
Well, Imperials, I think the unloved unit, there's so many you can pick from. Before I pick my unit, range troopers should have come down by a bit more. Just simply correcting the mistake that they made before isn't good enough. But it's got to be Boba Fett. 130 is way too much for what he does in 2.6. The Sharp 2 just isn't what it was. So he can probably come down to like 110 and be fine, because that puts him around the price of the Inquisitors, roughly. And I think that's about fine.
Yeah, and the Inquisitors seeing heaps of play, so that'd be a good yardstick to base.
Oh, are they?
No.
Oh.
Even their unit upgrades are like, that's cool. Why are they the most expensive unit upgrades?
I think you proved my point that Boba could come down 20 points and no one would blink.
Yeah. Is it Tristan down in Queensland? He's a mad fifth brother.
Oh, Melbourne Tristan.
Yeah, Melbourne Tristan. He loves playing them, and it's just like, I think Asajj is 20 points, and look what she does versus Fifth Brothers 32 points. It's just, they got shafted again, those poor Inquisitors. Hopefully one day they get them to a point where they're
come on. Before that, there'll be Build-A-Bear Inquisitors.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome if they did that.
All right, who's your unloved unit in the Imps, or is it the Inquisitors, as you said?
It's Cad Bane again. Poor old Cad Bane. It'll be interesting to see if anyone plays Imperial Special Forces. I
don't think they needed a points cut. I think they're fine. I think Iden's crap.
Yeah, okay.
At 115.
Poor old Iden. At 115, because she's got her droid for free now.
Yeah, whatever. It's her base cost that's the problem.
Yeah, okay. I know he's just come out, but Taj, at 85. Like, Krennic, 65. Like,
yeah, Krennic is way better.
I think Taj could be the same points as Krennic.
Yes,
I agree. And I'm still taking Krennic. But at least it makes a
conversation of it. Yeah,
he has a very cool theme army, which is like, I'm a fat guy in my deck chair sitting back, just watching everything. Okay, I know what they're doing. Cool. This turn, we're saying go. Let's go. Maybe they could have given him Exemplar Range 3. Like, what he's doing is cool, but the body on which it's doing it on is terrible.
Yeah, I think either a further Exemplar range or like multi-token Exemplar. I think the one thing that makes him interesting, and if you can find a way of abusing it, then that's how you unlock it.
You're getting into guard.
But how do you?
There. You're getting into.
How do you use
Yoda
the surge tokens?
Yeah. It's so risky to build him up. Like, he has to go and see stuff. He has to say, "Don't shoot me. I'm just looking at you." To build up all of those green tokens on his card, I think
which probably means that you need to run Death Troopers and
yeah. I think he's dead on arrival. That poor Mr. Taji or Tajay. How would you say it, Mitch?
Dead. Tajay. We'll go with Tajay.
Tajay. Yes, he runs a department store in Australia.
So, all right. What about your boys in AI? Who's an unloved unit there?
Magna Guards are so cool. I love them. I just think they're just short. Like, it didn't have to be a lot of points. I think 4 points could have been cool. Or what I would have been happy with is dropping the whip to 22, the RPS to 22, and the extra body to 20. Like, dropping things a little bit.
So how many points is that off?
So that would be 6 off the whip. I think it's the rocket is 4 points more. So it'd be 10 points off the rocket and then 2 points off the generic guy. Or what I was thinking is give the generic guy cash surge 1. Like, you know how some of the single generics carry a little keyword with them? Like,
I think it's only the mercenaries that do it, right?
Yeah, Grievous in them, it makes it interesting, but like a 5-man magma unit could be pretty damn beefy. But I just think that 5-man unit at the moment with Grievous and a whip is 136 points. So
it is 10 wounds.
10 red save wounds, yes. I think I still don't think they're going to see play. If they see play, it's a one-of in a Grievous list.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yes.
What will I pick for my unloved unit? Most of it's okay. I think Crabs, Deckers could do with a haircut. I don't know about the Wallaloo speed tank at 100. I think that could come down a bit. But the easy one for me is I want to see a B1 rebalance. I think the squad maybe needs to go up to, like, the base cost needs to go up to 40 and then bring down the cost of all the heavies, especially my good friend, the radiation cannon.
Yes,
that thing,
it's
that thing either needs to be able to shoot into melee or it needs to be like 8 points or 10 points.
Yes, I think that the heavy weapon balancing, I think you could make every rebel heavy 13 points except for the range 4 gun, make that 20. And I think you're still seeing everyone take the SX 13.
Oh, the neck dude. Yeah,
neck dude. I think we call them Icthorians.
Oh, well, whatever. I don't know Star Wars.
Oh, well. We've got to cover. Do we have to cover Gar?
What unit am I happy to see on the other side of the table if I'm playing against Gar? Would probably be... Ooh, probably ARF troopers. Because it means you're not playing snipers.
Yeah.
What unit are you happy to see on the other side of the table if someone's playing them filthy clones?
I'm never happy to see clones. I think their commanders are just... They're all able to be outplayed. Like Mace Windu, just don't wound him. Okay, cool. Wail on me a little bit, see what you do. Anakin Skywalker, I think... I don't know. I always lose to Gar, and I think they're trash. So there's something wrong with me and Gar. We've got issues. The Commandos...
I think over 50% of my losses are against Gar specifically.
Yeah, I can never understand the clone commandos. Like, I think when they're fully kitted out with their gun and their what do they put on them? They put the
armor for free.
Yeah, the armor. For free, the HQ. They end up being 100 points for 4 models, and I always look at them and go, they're going to die, but they never do. They just. Yeah. I see them at 100 points. Go, that's wildly overcosted, but I always get proven wrong. So. Who am I to talk?
Well, now there's sniper counterplay, right? So maybe there's a way of reducing them.
So tapping them down. So, yes. Well, I think we've got one section left, don't we, Mitch?
Oh, yeah. It's whatever I decide to talk about.
Yeah.
So my favourite part of having a Legion podcast now is not talking about Legion. So for today, I'm super excited about a different sci-fi universe, and that is Starcraft. I don't know if you saw them at CanCon, the little demo table they had set up, Pete.
I did. I went and checked it out. I got my Zeratul.
But they're nice, chunky models, and I'm in love with the rule set. So the key differences to a standard minis game is, much like Legion 2.6, things move onto the board, but your roster is set up in such a way that you can't bring on your full army at the start of the game. Instead, you have like a population cap mechanic from an RTS like video game. So at the start of the game, you could bring on maybe 40 to 50% of your force, depending on the mission that you're playing. And as the game counter increases, you have access to more population space, or supply, as it's called in StarCraft. And as you take casualties, that also frees up supply so that you can bring more units onto the field. So while you might have like a perfectly balanced list to have counters to different things, if you bring the wrong stuff onto the field, you're going to have a hard time fighting against your opponent until the turns sort of move past so you can bring on the counters to their units. So it's got a nice little like reserve force mechanic there, which I quite enjoy. Other cool mechanic that I really love about it is list building is in 2 phases. So the equivalent to the command hand, which is like you build a base, so your buildings that would produce your units, and these do 2 things. It comes from a separate pool of points to your unit list, if that makes sense. So it gives you access. Yeah, Vespene gas. So it gives you access to special rules, which you can use on the field. It gives you access to like command points, which units can trigger of their special buildings with. But having buildings also unlocks roster slots for your units. So if you want to run a whole bunch of like special forces type stuff, you have to build these buildings. So you get sort of cornered in terms of the scope of abilities that you can have generated from your buildings if you want to min-max certain units. So there's sort of a natural balance in the list building there between the buildings and the units, that if you want to have a good set of abilities, you're more incentivized to take a balanced list.
And it's produced by Archon Studios over in Poland.
Yeah, good old Polish mob.
Yeah, good old Polish mob. I can definitely see why you're on here promoting them. I don't know if you've got some kind of sponsorship that you haven't told me about yet, but
I wish I did.
I think they said one line. I watched some of the pre-order things, and they sort of said the game is casual until about a year in, and being a degenerate.
I think that timeline came up because they thought that's when they were going to start doing OP, but they're getting massive demand of like OP kits and OP support and like player maps and things like that. That timeline has moved forward. So while the rosters are slim, so maybe it's not all like competitive from that standpoint, the support is there. They're really throwing it in. So I'm sure, same as me, Pete, you threw a bunch of money at this game because you're a fiend for any and all miniatures games that come out.
Yes. There is always the CanCon Monday slot. I did attempt Halo, which was not my cup of tea. As imagine in Legion if you could roll a crit and then you got to roll another crit, and you just get to rolling until you stop rolling crits. That was not a fun game mechanic. In my first game, it's like, here's my 2/3 of my army model, and then his little 20-point man sat there and said, okay, so I'm rolling 6 dice. I've got 4 crits, so I'll roll another 3 dice. That's 3 more crits. I'll roll another 2. That's 1 more. Oh, that's 1 more. And he said, that's 16 damage coming into you, big guy. Hopefully StarCraft doesn't have a mechanic like that. I know it's got like impact and then you're surging. Do they use surging?
Yeah, so the surge mechanic it's not surge as in Legion. So it says if you fire an effective weapon at something, so I think impact is probably a more reasonable comparison. So if you fire an impact weapon at a tank, then typically D3, so 1 to 3 of the shots against that tank, they don't get to make a save. So if you hit them for 6 and you had impact 2, for example, they make 4 saves and 2 damage automatically happens. So there's no exploding dice mechanic. It just says if you shoot the right things with the right type of weapons, they don't get to make saves against at least a couple of those hits.
Yeah, okay. Nice. StarCraft is definitely, and I think this will be, the player base is near and dear to my heart. Like, I remember when my dad would go away, he was in the military for work, and it was just mum, and she'd go to bed early, and I'd just stay up playing 3v3 no rush StarCraft 1, and I'd sit there for hours, and I'd love to be Protoss, and then I would go and mind control a Zingle drone. So then I could have a 400 unit cap because I'd go and build up the Zerg army off to the side, and someone would start attacking you and everyone in the chat would be like, no rush. You get to the point where the game had been going for 2 hours and, it'd eventually end and you'd immediately reload it and go again. So no, there's definitely a big nostalgia value. I'm not sure if I can, I have the capacity for 2 war games, but like you, I saw the pre-orders and immediately pre-ordered. So we will see how we go. So, yes. Did you have any closing thoughts, Mitch?
I was just going to say it'll be good to get some games under our belt again because while you went to Worlds, I haven't played for like 3 months. So it'll be interesting to play Briscon next weekend and then the various one-day events that we've got. And we'll come back and have a chat and talk shit about whatever's gone on with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe next week we're going to discuss the NRL team, the Roosters, and the changes to their outfits which have been occurring. And we're looking forward for any feedback. We're going to call this a preseason episode. So if for some reason you did sit there and enjoy an hour and 20 minutes of me and Mitch rambling on with very little organisation, please feel free to send a message and say thank you. And we look forward to more episodes coming in the future. And shout out to Synth Mage on YouTube. There'll be links somewhere. He is the man who is producing these sweet tunes, which are doing our intro and our outro. Thank you very much for listening to Fireball Legion.